This is it. No more messing around for Damian Lillard. He is done with not contending, and he warned the team about rebuilding.
I don't have much of an appetite for building and, guys 2 and 3 years away from really going after it. If the route is to do that, then, that's not my route. I want a chance to go for it.
So that means a gigantic trade. But here's where Dame is tricky. We know guys like Giannis or LeBron can't win a title by themselves. Even Michael Jordan needed help. But Dame just had his best season ever and still missed the playoffs. You think Giannis or LeBron's best season would ever get a 10 seed? No. Dame needs a lot more help than most stars, which is impossible for the Blazers front office. Oh, they want to support Dame with a big trade, but no one wants to go to Portland, let alone 2 stars. Right now, they have been linked in the media with OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Jaylen Brown, but the dream trade list includes Joel Embiid, Pascal Siakam, Bradley Beal, and Zach LaVine. Again, Dame probably needs 2 of those guys to be a real contender. There is no way he gets his wish, so almost 100% he will be traded. Then he will be on a team with a superstar teammate finally. One way or the other, it is happening, but there is almost no chance it happens in Portland. But what about loyalty? Dame talks about loyalty more than any other player. He even talks down on guys who join super teams. But now, his wish to compete is greater than his bond with Portland. Oh, and you don't believe me? It's not just him warning the team about rebuilding. He came this close to actually demanding a trade recently. But first, today's sponsor is Prize Picks, and every day of the NBA playoffs, one Prize Picks user will have a chance of becoming a millionaire. Here's how it works. You can have one entry placed after 8 a.m. Eastern time. It's going to be randomly selected each day. And whoever placed that entry will be given a 6-pick flex with the following payouts. 6 correct picks, the million. 5 correct picks, 80 grand. 4 correct picks, 16 grand. So you don't even have to pick all 6 correct to get a gigantic payout. You can check out the full details at prizepicks.com/million, but you have to opt in to the link in the description to have a chance to be in the $1 million entry. And once you opt in, all you have to do is play the game like you normally would, and you could be the lucky winner. My picks for today are De'Aaron Fox and Draymond Green, both of their fantasy points. And I'm going more and more, and do not forget that you have to opt in and hopefully get selected. And if it's your first time playing, enter the promo code AMHOOPS to get a 100% deposit match bonus. He was talking to Stephen A. Smith, so maybe his guard was down, but I was shocked when I heard this.
Our urgency has to go to, we have to get things done. If those things can't be done, we can't do something significant like that, then, not only will I have a decision to make, but I think the organization will too.
If we can't get stars, I will have a decision to make. Yeah, AKA a trade demand. It's not a big mystery here. Dude is out of patience. But can they do it? The Blazers have the following assets in a trade. Young players, Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharpe, and draft picks. It gets a little complicated. They have this year's pick, which could be number 1 actually, plus the Knicks pick. Or if they get Chicago to remove protections, then they have 2 more first-round picks and swaps. But is that enough to get Mikal Bridges and Zach LaVine, or OG Anunoby and Joel Embiid? No, it's not. And on top of that, those guys are not going to get traded, especially to Portland. So the best hope for the Blazers is to get that number 1 pick for Victor Wembanyama. They have a 10.5% chance to get it. But if that doesn't happen, and it won't, Portland's going to strike out on all their trades, and if Dame is serious, he will demand out. But who will he play for next? Honestly, this is the best thing for the Blazers too. I mean, they're never going to have better value to get back for Dame. Just had his best season ever. He is healthy, but he's going to make $63 million at 36 years old. Who's going to trade for that? A desperate win-now franchise. And there are 2 teams that make sense from a motivation standpoint and have the assets to get it done. I am not talking, by the way, about the Lakers or the Clippers who need a point guard, but they have no draft picks to trade and they don't have any really good young players. It's a pipe dream. Like, if you see anybody make an edit with Dame in a Lakers jersey, they are dumb. But Dame will almost guaranteed be on one of these two teams next season. Before we name them, I have to address the wildest rumor out there. Some people are saying it makes sense to swap Dame for Trae Young. I mean, the Hawks might want to move Trae for bad leadership, and yeah, it's fun to think about, but it makes no sense for Dame. If he's leaving Portland, dude has to be on a title contender. His best teammate would be DeJounte Murray. The Blazers wouldn't do that to Dame. He would go to the front office and push back on that trade because there are two other great rosters who want him. And the first is the Miami Heat. One shot away from the finals last year, but the big problem is Pat Riley. He made two horrible decisions that have weighed this team down. Paid Kyle Lowry $85 million, paid Duncan Robinson $90 million. If it weren't for those two deals, they could maybe get a big next to Bam. They could get a better offense, but whenever Miami is in trouble, they always look for a superstar to bail them out. Did it with Shaq in 04, won the title. LeBron in 2010, won twice. Jimmy Butler in 2019 made the finals. And now the Heat are in rumors for Damian Lillard. But unlike the Lakers, they have enough pieces to get it done. Now I want to get to what the trade looks like, but why Dame? Why not wait for another superstar? Because their biggest problem is offense. They were the #1 3-point shooting team last year, dropped all the way to 3rd from last. Overall offense went from 12th in 2022 to 25th. The defense isn't great either, but Dame would automatically make them an elite offense again. When they had that, they were the #1 seed. Last year, it was a Jimmy Butler miss from the finals. What if that shot was taken by Damian Lillard to beat the Celtics? I mean, this is the man who ended the Rockets and the Thunder season in the playoffs. So, the Blazers trade Kyle Lowry for his salary, Tyler Hero, and 3 first-round picks. The Heat get Dame. Miami is one of the few teams with the assets to get it done, but there is one other organization that makes sense. The Sixers have a lot at stake right now. Joel Embiid, never been past the second round, and he's depending on James Harden. Not only is Harden's Achilles hurt, but he craters in big games. They would be so much better replacing Harden with Dame next year. We all know the Beard can leave in free agency to Houston in the offseason, so they will need a point guard. But there's a problem. How much do they really want to win with Embiid? Are they willing to trade Tyrese Maxey? They refused to give him up for Harden 2 years ago, which is how he ended up on the Nets in the first place. But for Dame, they would have to. The trade is Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, 2029 first, and 2 swaps for Dame. And that is the best offer they have. They don't have any more picks to trade. And I'm not even sure Portland loves this deal, pairing Maxey with Anthony Simons. It's Dame and CJ bad defense backcourt all over again. But Embiid is the best teammate for Dame. A big who's elite on defense that led the NBA in scoring in back-to-back years. Dame is such an upgrade over Harden too, because in big games, Dame gets better. That pick and roll would dominate. But if Portland is choosing between the Sixers or the Heat's package, I think they go with Miami. The only way around that is if Dame demands to play with Joel Embiid and finally get that superstar teammate. But how motivated will the Sixers and the Heat actually be to put together this huge package? We know that the Heat got the 8th seed. They're going to play the #1 seed Bucks. That could be awful. And the Sixers have to go on the road through Boston, through Milwaukee if they want to win the title. So it could get ugly. How ugly could it get? I dropped my entire playoff predictions. Check it out.